Yaga, July 13th. The Most Almighty Creator, as we understand the Most Almighty Creator. The Most Almighty is subtle, but He is not malicious. A quote by Albert Einstein. Recovery is an intensely spiritual process that asks us to grow in our understanding of the Most Almighty Creator. Our understanding may have been shaped by early religious experience or the beliefs of those around us. We may wonder if the Most High is as shaming and frightening as people can be. We may feel as victimized or abandoned by the Most Almighty as we have by people from our past. Trying to understand the Most Almighty may boggle our mind because of what we have learned and experienced so far in our life. We can learn to trust the Most Almighty anyways. I have grown and changed in my understanding of this power greater than myself. My understanding has not grown on an intellectual level, but because of what I have experienced since I turned my life and my will over to the care of the Most Almighty Creator, or rather, didn't understand the Most Almighty. The Most Almighty is real, loving, good, caring. The more we turn our mind and heart toward a positive understanding of the Most Almighty, the more the Most Almighty validates us. The more we thank the Most Almighty for who the Most Almighty is, who we are, and the exact nature of our present circumstances, the more the Most Almighty acts on our behalf. In fact, all along, the Most Almighty planned to act in our behalf. The Most Almighty is Creator, benefactor, and source. The Most Almighty has shown me beyond all else that how I come to understand the Most Almighty Creator is not nearly as important as knowing that the Most Almighty Creator understands me. Today's affirmation. Today, I will be open to growing in my understanding of my higher power. I'll be open to letting go of old, limiting, negative beliefs about the Most Almighty Creator. No matter how I understand the Most Almighty Creator, I will be grateful that the Most Almighty Creator understands me. Thank you for joining me. Aya, out.